Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Naz, and my goal on this channel is to document life and hopefully bring value to you guys as well. If you like what you see, do not hesitate to subscribe. Okay, so I wanted to share a quick story time of why I'm moving to Europe. If you know me personally, you know that it is one of my dreams to move where I'm literally about to move, and I'm not gonna share why I'm moving in this video. That's actually on my language channel. So if you want to know why I'm moving and where I'm moving, then click the video in the description. It will also be pinned in the comment section. I talk about all of that on my language channel just because it's relevant more for that channel. But for this video, I wanted to talk about why or how I'm even able to move there and the testimony behind this move. Question of the day: comment below where in Europe you think I'm moving. How is this happening, and why did I say it's a testimony? It's a testimony because quite literally, when I showed up to the embassy to get the visa to facilitate my move, they literally handed me back my documents. They were sending me home. So let's get into how that happened. Really 4 a.m. and I'm getting ready for yet another all-day adventure. From the first time in a really long time, like years, I'll be taking the train. As you can see in here, it's pretty empty. I thought it'd be safe to get here earlier rather than later. I need to get where I'm going by noon. I took a train to a whole different state. I went to Boston, Massachusetts, to be able to go to this embassy to do this whole application process and everything. And as you can imagine, you're moving to a new country. It's a lot. Like, the documentation that I had to prepare before I even left Jamaica was a whole lot. I had to get a police record. I had to get my medical certificate. I had to make sure I had all of my acceptance letters printed out for the program. My health insurance for the country I'm going to print it out. I would literally be in a different country. I can't just hop on a plane back home to get my documents, and I'm at the visa application center. When I got there, I was filling out an application form that they gave me and all of that stuff. To give you a little bit of a backstory, back in university, one of my professors recommended me for a program in Europe because she thought that I had competence and everything. And guess what, guys? I actually got into this program. I got a scholarship for this program in Europe. In my second year of university, I essentially would have spent the first semester of my third year of university in Europe on like an exchange program. But when it actually came down to making the move and making the first steps that would have made that move a reality, there were other hiccups and obstacles in the way that ultimately led to me declining my offer. And I was crying, and it was not a happy time at all. But my father encouraged me, and he said, if God means for you to go to this country one day to do what you want to do and to enlarge your borders and have another opportunity, it will happen some way, somehow. Fast forward now, God is very intentional, and I just think that everything happens for a reason. You have certain people that are in your life for a reason and everything, because the program that I'm going on right now in Europe, I wouldn't have even known about it if it wasn't for my friend who told me about it. And it wasn't even a fact that she was telling me because she wanted me to apply. She was telling me that she was applying, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to apply. That sounds like something that I would do. I got to the embassy, I filled out the application form, I sat in front of the person to give her my documents, and she looked through them, and pretty much she the issue was that I'm a Jamaican at an embassy in the United States trying to get a visa for another country, which nothing is wrong with that because I was legally in the country and I had all my documents for the program. It was more so a matter that the documents that I had, I guess, and to be fair, they don't have much experience with my very unique situation being a Jamaican applying for this visa in the United States. I think what happened was she was just trying to go by the book, but at the end of the day, she was just being difficult because I combed through that website and I made sure I had all the documents that I know I needed to have. So when she came to me about having documents that were like from Jamaica that she said should have been from the US, and I explained to my front that, hey, I don't live permanently in the US at the moment. My documents could not have been, I would not have a criminal record for the US. There's no way I could. And she was nice, but at the end of the day, she was sending me home because she never wanted to take my money, because I had to pay for the application, take my money and take my documents only for me to not get the visa, because then my money will be non-refundable. And at this point, having gone through everything and the weight and the overwhelmingness, if that's a word, of everything at this point was so much that I genuinely started to, and I didn't want to cry in front of her, but I wanted to cry. So I was like, can I call my father really quickly and you talk to him? Ultimately, she was telling him the same thing that she was telling me. She even called for her, who I believe was her supervisor, and they pretty much said, hey, I don't know about this, sweetie. You don't have the documents. You don't have the right documents to be able to get this visa. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to send you home. At this point, I literally wanted to just bury myself in that hole right there and just cry. Because how are you gonna tell me that after I've gone all this way, take a train to a whole different state to get this document, and you want to send me back home with my documents? Like, what was I supposed to do at that point? My father said, you're not going to leave there with the documents. We believe in a big God, a God who will move mountains and who can make something of nothing. So he said, leave your documents with her in faith and God will make it happen. And at the time, I wasn't even really accepting that because I was just so emotionally I was distraught. I think I was crying at this point, but I was trying hard to make it look like I wasn't crying. Ultimately, she was like, okay. She realized that I wanted to just submit it anyways, and she was like, fine, I will take her documents, but guess maybe you'll be lucky. And those were her exact words. Maybe you'll be lucky. But she essentially took my documents with basically saying that she doesn't believe I would have gotten through because I didn't have what she thought were the right documents, but she would take it anyways, and then maybe I'll be lucky. As soon as I got into that elevator, guys, I was bawling my eyes out. I could not even speak on the phone. My parents were consoling me, encouraging me, and saying God will make a way. And then at this point, I'm saying to myself, I believe I was accepted to this program because it's something that I believe that God wants me to do, an opportunity that he opened up for me. So if I'm meant to go, it will happen. It has to happen some way or another, because like I said earlier, what is for you can't be un for you. I took the train home that day. I believe in signs. I believe that things happen for a reason and not so much coincidence. I believe that God can speak to you through other people and even just through things you see online. You just happen to see it, what you think as a coincidence, but maybe it's God literally speaking to you that way. Because he works in mysterious ways and he can speak to you in several different ways, right? So when I got home that day, my sister actually reached out to me and she sent me the link to a YouTube video. It's like this Christian page that she follows. The title of the video was, "You Will Be the Exception." And I was like, wow, how timely. The video was posted that very day. I think maybe half an hour before she sent it to me, it was posted. You will be the exception. I don't always sit through these videos, but I sat through this one and I'm telling you guys, I felt as if she was literally speaking to me in my situation. Towards the end of the video, she actually said that, hey, This is a ministry. If you want to send a prayer request, my email is in the description. Send your prayer request. My ministry we will pray for you personally, and then come back to us with the testimony. Now, this is a fairly big YouTube channel. I figured maybe if I even do send the email, maybe she wouldn't see it. But I said I'm going to send the email nonetheless, because at this point, I need all the prayers I can get so I can get this visa and I can go on this program. So I sent the email request. I sent the prayer request to the email. Lo and behold, the following morning, she did in fact respond and said she prayed for me, and she gave me a long email with encouragement, and like she said other stuff that spoke directly to me. I don't know this lady. I do not know this lady personally. She does not know me, but I explained in detail my situation and exactly what I wanted the prayer for. And she prayed for me, and she said, come back to me with a testimony. And I still need to do that, because this is a testimony. And fast forward a month later, my passport was delivered back to me. At this point, I didn't even know if I was going to open the passport to see my visa. So you can imagine that this was like, this moment of like opening the package to see what is there was very daunting to me. I opened the package, I flipped through my passport, and it did not register to me immediately. I flipped through my passport. Lo and behold, I got the visa. I got the visa, guys. And who could it be but God? Who could it be but God, when the embassy literally was sending me home? My dad, which again, I think everything is just God lining up people in my life. Why did I call my father? Why did I get the inkling to call him? Why did he say, no, don't leave? Give your documents in faith. If I hadn't called him, trust me, I would have left. So I'm glad that I got that inkling or thought to call him. And I know my family also prayed for me and everything, and we were all waiting in faith, and they had no doubt I would get it, and I did. So I want to publicly thank the Lord, and I privately and publicly thank the Lord. There was every reason for me to doubt. Even the embassy people were doubtful. But I serve a God who's greater than them and that, and who divinely intervened in my situation. And now I'm able to come out and testify and say, God is good, God is real, and this is my testimony. If you want to know why and where I'm moving, click the link in my description or the link in the pinned comments. Guys, we're going to Europe, so saddle up.